Welcome back to another Fallout 76 video. I'm assuming if you clicked on this video, you're potentially a new player, so I just want to say welcome and hope you have a good time. Stay here for a little bit, and I am trying to get this video out to as many new players as possible, especially with the rush of players coming from the TV show. So I really appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe, and let's get right into it.
We're gonna straighten you out!
This'll fix you!
Alright, so firstly, I'm not an expert in any aspect of the game whatsoever. I pretty much learned as I went along when I first started, back when the game first came out in beta. It was pretty bad back then. It was a little chaotic, to say the least. I know a lot of people left, me included. So it's really come a long way to where it is now from where it was. It's finally, pretty stable. Everybody can actually play. You're not constantly getting disconnected from the server. So I pretty much learned along the way, and just some things that I've read and different advice I've been given from other people. Hopefully I can get that message out to whoever's playing this game, some newer players, just so they don't make the same mistakes that I did when I first started. Alright, so as soon as you take your first steps outside of Vault 76, what you want to do is look at your food and water bars at the bottom right hand corner. Those aren't really too important right now. Yours will probably not be drained like mine. I let mine drain on purpose, just so that I can show you guys for the video. Basically, it isn't like a hardcore survival game. You won't die and drop dead if you have no food or water. You basically just don't get the buff whenever you're fully fed, and that's basically just a buff to your stats. It isn't really anything too important right now. Like I said, you're not going to drop dead if you don't have any food or water. So again, don't worry about that. Alright, so another bit of advice that I want to give you. When you first get out, I think you have to get to at least level 5, I believe. Not 100% sure on that. But basically, you're not going to have the option before you hit that level. But what you want to do is you want to go to settings, you want to go to game, and right here under pacifist mode, basically what that means is that you can't hurt other people. There is a PvP mode on this game. It's kind of weird, so unless you actually know what you're doing, you don't really lose anything, loot wise. The only thing you do lose is a thing called junk, and you want to keep that safe at all times. You always want to be scrapping any type of junk that you get in the wasteland. That's basically how you repair your armor, your guns, and everything, and how you build your camps. So highly recommend, if you don't want to do PvP at all, turn pacifist mode on, and you never have to worry about it accidentally shooting somebody. And then if they have pacifist mode off, they can shoot you and kill you, and they can basically steal the junk. Your junk, think of that as money. Treat it like money, so try and take good care of it. So I highly recommend turning this mode on if you're just starting out. Alright, so to take care of your junk, treat it like gold. But where do you put it? That's a very good question. You have two options. First option is your stash. Basically, your stash is only accessible by you. Nobody else can access it. And these are all over the map. These are probably the most common things you're going to find. They're in players' camps. They have different skins on them, and they're pretty much in any train station, really just all over on the map. Different fast travel points, you name it, you'll find a stash box. And for number 2, you have your scrapbox. Your scrapbox is only accessible for Fallout First members. That's the premium version, like the subscription base that you can pay per month. I believe it's like $12 or $13 per month. But in this scrap box, and if you look to the left, there's an ammo box. Basically, you can put infinite scrap into this, and you will never run out of space. So, if you're taking up space in your stash and you need more room, you only have 1,200 total weight in your stash. So things can fill up in there pretty quickly. So if you want to go the premium version, it doesn't require, you're not obligated to buy it, but you kind of get full on space pretty quickly. So that is an option if you do want to pay that subscription per month. But again, don't feel obligated. It's just a nice thing to have. Alright, so Firstly, what you want to do before or after you talk to the NPCs down from Vault 76, you want to look at this thing called a donation box. Basically, most of the time, higher level players will put weapons in here. They'll put different armors, really anything, stim packs, you name it. I know a lot of the time I throw in different apparels that I have, that maybe don't want to sell my vendor, or just stim packs. I threw in like 50 fusion cores one time. Really just anything. Just the more experienced, the older players throwing in, you're throwing in junk that they don't use anymore. That'd be useful to new players. So really take advantage of this. These are really anywhere. They're at a bunch of train stations, at a bunch of fast travel points. A lot of the main quest lines, you'll run into these all over. So if you're a newer player, take advantage of this. Don't feel obligated to put anything into it. Obviously, if you're new, just take whatever you want. There's always something good in there, and if not, you can always scrap it for material. So I highly recommend, just take advantage of this always. Pretty much what you want to do, when you're on your map and you go to the little menu over here, one of the things that I recommend doing really every day are your challenges. These pretty much level up on the season, and during this season, you pretty much level up and you can get different things. You can get boosters that make you level up faster. You can get more atoms that are basically locked behind different levels in the season, and so when you hit that level, you can go unlock it and you get free atoms. I think there's a total of 1,000 atoms that are locked behind these ranks that you have to meet. And basically, when you go into your challenges, you have a thing called daily, weekly. Your dailies reset, like this one right here says ending in 50 minutes. I'm running late to this one. They reset though every day, so you obviously want to do these. And whenever you're doing it, if you're a Fallout First member, you'll have 2 premium roles, one free they give you, and then another one obviously that you have for being a Fallout First member. But if you don't, you'll just have one free one. So basically what you want to do, these will pretty much, the dailies are pretty easy. They're not that hard at all. And if you do get a roll, you don't really want to roll on your dailies. You want to save that for your weekly, and you want to try and get an epic. If you do get an epic, it just basically means you get more score points. So really only try to use your rolls on the weekly areas and not really the daily. The dailies are always pretty, always going to be pretty easy. So they're not really too hard to worry about. But I recommend doing these, daily at least. They're always pretty easy. Most of the time you'll complete it, you won't even know. It'll just be like, cripple, a limb or whatever, complete a daily quest, build anything in a shelter. So there, you might, be doing it, you're not even paying attention, and you'll just see your rank going up, and you're completing them along the way. Next up, here's Vault 76. It is a little bit of ways from there, but mostly everybody will tell you about the Whitespring Mall. Whenever you do get here, you can fast travel here. It's always going to be free, so it's pretty central in the map. So this is always going to be a really good area to go to. When you do get here, you'll get inside. You'll always fast travel to this point. When you do get over here, there's really any kind of vendor you can think of in here. You can buy all types of things. You can buy plans, guns, armor, armor mods, ammo, you name it. So pretty much when you get here, I always go to this room. This is the pretty important, probably the most important room out of this whole mall. When you come in here, you're gonna have your legendary exchange, basically where you exchange legendary weapons for a thing called scrip. And that scrip, you can basically use that to buy legendary modules and other things to basically roll perks on weapons. So that's always a really good thing. If you're not using legendary, you can always bring it over here. But when you're here, there's all different types of workbenches in here. Like I said, your stash boxes in here. If you're a Fallout First, you're gonna have your scrapbox over here. You have your power armor stations. Any kind of workbench is basically in here. These right here, your ammo box. Obviously, if you're Fallout First, you don't ever want to buy the vending machines, the ammunition from the vending machines. These are just stupidly overpriced. Like one 5.56 round is 4 caps. That's crazy to me. You know really have a better chance even over here to the medical supplies like a stim pack. They're selling for 56. That's pretty crazy to me. You can go and hop over to a player vendor and pretty much get it for, I sell my stim packs for I think like 12, sometimes even 10, and I sell all my ammo for 1 cap each. And most of the time, you know, you'll see people selling it for 1 cap each also. Sometimes for 2. I don't ever buy if it's for 2 unless I'm in a pinch I really need some ammo. But most of the time, you know, you don't ever want to use these vending machines. That one and the medical one, they're always going to be, you know, pretty overpriced. You can always find a better deal at player camps. Alright, so this can be a whole video in and, you know, of itself. Pretty much your perks. Your perk cards are basically how your character is set up for your play style. Like I said, this can be made into a whole video by itself. I'll briefly just go over it. There's a good website that I'm going to link in the description that basically has some really good builds that you can go with. You know, if you want to be a stealthy build, I have a video on that on it's called a bloody commando build. I'll link that in the description also. But on this other website, if let's say you want to be like a melee, or you want to be a tank, you want to run around power armor, you want to be a sniper, whatever the case may be, this is pretty much how your character will play out. And once you hit level 50, you'll get legendary perks, but again, you have to be level 50 for that. So really, this is just going to be based off of how your playstyle is. So I'd highly recommend going to that website and just kind of playing around. Like I said, you don't have to really, you know, run with any specific build, you know, and feel like you have to commit to that. If you want to go with a shotgun and then change to a assault rifle, you know, whatever you want. You want to go melee only, you can definitely do that. You can always change these perks out. It's at a place called a punch card machine, and these are pretty common also. You'll find this at players camps. This one's in the Whitespring Mall. So basically what you do here, you can go to manage. This is my old build right here that I use, and I switched to commando. So you don't have to worry about, like, you know, I don't want to put a point into, you know, strength when I want it in intelligence, and you know, you're worried about your perks and your perk points. Like I said, don't worry about it. You can always change it literally whenever you want, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty self-explanatory, so I'll let you choose your points, you know, however you wish. Alright, and another thing on your perk menu, basically what you want to do all the time to level up fast, it's basically free XP. In charisma, you always want to take your inspirational perk. Basically, it, you know, self-explanatory, when you are on a team with others, you gain 10% more XP. So another thing you want to also do, when you're on your map, you always want to go to social, and you don't, you know, don't feel obligated to join, you know, one of these like roleplay events, daily ops, expeditions. You can always just join a casual, and whenever you're in a casual team, you don't even have to, you know, run with anybody. You can just be by yourself. Casual is basically, you know, free points, free special points. You know, it's like right here it shows, you know, especially if you're in with, you know, people for a little while, you basically create a thing called a bond, and this will pretty much go up on your intelligence, and it's basically free stats. Like I said, you can even make your own. If you go to casual, you'll still get that buff. On this, like if you look in the bottom left corner, it says casual team ×1 bonus. Obviously, if you're, you know, you want to be a little bit higher, like +4, you can join a team with actual other people, but you're still getting the buff regardless, if you're with other people or not. The only thing that I do want to warn you about is that whenever you do choose your perks, until you hit level 50, you can't actually, you know, go and choose which perk cards you want. Basically, whatever you get down here, out of, you know, all your perks and whatnot, out of your, you know, the packs, you pretty much have to stay with what you got. When you hit level 50, you can open a pack, and you can actually, you know, whatever you get, that's fine. But you can actually, you know, pick and choose your perks. You can filter through basically all of them and pick all the individual ones you want. You don't just get random picks anymore and have to get settle with what you got. So just that's one thing I wanted to warn you about. Be careful with what you do choose. You can like I said, pick and choose what you want. But try to stick with a certain build until at least level 50, just so that you get a build down, you get a playstyle down. But again, you don't have to if you want to change. I changed mine, I think at like level 40. So like I said, don't feel obligated to stick with a build if you don't like it. Just play how you want. Alright, so now that we covered leveling up and perks, perk cards, and how you want to put your points, depending when you're watching this video, there's an event right now called Primal Cuts, and basically what that is, there's a whole thing called Meat Week right now, and yeah, you heard that right, Meat Week. Basically what this is, there's all different kinds of events that will happen, depending what's going on. Like I said, this week right now, what we have, basically these events, you go over here, if you click on it, it'll tell you about it. This one, it says easy, types in waves, and this event, specifically is separated into 3 different areas. I think, this green area is like considered like level 1. Over here is level 2 in the middle, and level 3 is going to be in the ash heap. And this red area is going to be the harder area. You get harder mods, but you get more. Basically, there's a thing called meat. You get prime cut, and you get 5 over here. And I think over here you get 4. Over here in the easier you get 3 or 2. So depending, like I said, when you're watching this video, there might be a different event going on. So events are a really good way to level up. You get really good XP off of these events, and you can get some legendary weapons, some armor. You can get really anything, any type of plan for your camp. So if you want to level up faster, I highly recommend doing these events. Maybe watch a video on a guide on how to actually do these events when they're happening, just so that you're trying to get the most XP out of it as possible. Another good tip is when you're doing these events, you want to also be tagging enemies. So basically what that means is you want to be, shooting and not killing. So, if you want to have, like, if you have a shotgun build, assault rifle, whatever, just shoot them once, maybe twice, tag them, and try and do that to all the enemies in the area. You don't have to necessarily, focus on one and try to kill it and empty out all your magazine. So what you want to do is basically, like I said, tag all of them, just shoot them a couple times, and try to cover everyone. You'll get the most XP that way. And that was a good tip that I was told a long time ago when I first started. I used to just run around, try to kill one enemy, and then I'm out of ammo, and then I can't do anything else on the whole event. So that's a good tip that I learned a while back. Figured I'd mention it. Right, so next up we have camps. Your camp is pretty much your home. You can design that however you want. That's completely up to you. You can put all your workbenches in there. You can get a free vault. I've made a video on how to get a free vault, so I'll link that down below also. And if you don't want to live underground in a vault, you can build your base like I'd have. Pretty much, however you want. Like I said, it's completely up to you. Go crazy with your imagination. So really, you can do anything you want inside of your base. You can, like I said, put things however you want. You can put music boxes up. You can put magazine displays. Really, you can look up some videos, and people have some crazy things, a lot more than I do for sure. I haven't really bought too much yet to actually design my base a certain way. Some of the things you can get from events, you can find out in the wasteland. So don't feel obligated like you have to buy anything from the atomic shop. You can find a lot of base building plans out in the wasteland just in general. So you don't have to feel like left out, like you have to actually spend real money. So yeah, wherever you put your base, you do want to make sure that if you're interested in getting like a water purifier or whatever, you're near water, and you can actually use that and You can either sell it, whatever you want, use it yourself. You want to make sure you're not really around too many enemies. You can look up different videos on good base locations on what you can actually use, where are some good spots. What you don't want to do is go in a hard area, being a low level and you can't take anything out, like in the red area on the map to the right. That's a little bit harder area, so if you're not really used to the game yet, I wouldn't recommend really going over there yet. That's where a lot of nukes are normally dropped. So like I said, I wouldn't really recommend that area yet, until you actually know what you're doing. But if you feel you want to go over there, you find a nice area, there are some nice areas over here. So again, feel free, just play however you want. Alright, and almost to the end. Actually, what a lot of players don't know, even ones that have been playing for a little while, if you have, let's say you had a disease, so like you go over here to effects, let's say you had, parasites, you had radworms, if you had anything, and I'm not talking about mutations, I'm talking about like, actual like parasites or whatever, in the bottom right corner you'll see like a little toxic symbol, a red symbol. So whenever you see that, you over here, go to effects over here, it'll tell you whatever you have right here. So a lot of players, what they don't know is that if you go over here to like a little gazebo area, here the White Mall, near the golf course, just left of the entrance over here and just right of the golf club, kind of here in the middle. Basically, if you go to this little gazebo looking area, if you go to this water fountain over here and you drink that, the sulfur water fountain, it'll actually get rid of whatever disease you have. So if you're trying to find a disease cure or whatever out in the wild, maybe you're trying to buy one from a player vendor, just come over here and it's completely free and it'll get rid of any kind of disease really you have. So that's a good tip. A lot of players, like I said, even older players don't really know about that. So I just thought I'd throw it in there. One of the really important things that I recommend you do get, if you're on console, I don't believe you can, but if you're on PC, you can get a thing called chatmod. This basically means that you can now chat in the game. Why this isn't a official feature in the game is beyond me, but this really changes your whole gameplay. You can scroll up and down, you can add people, and they'll announce like if there's any events going on in their server. You can add them as a friend, travel to them. So this really is completely game changing. Like I said, why it's not an official feature is crazy, but thank goodness for modders. That it really, like I said, it changes the whole game. All right, and so with all that being said, if you're wanting to get into the game, just know that the community is pretty good. Everybody's always pretty friendly. One of the things that you really want to look out for, obviously, people trying to scam you, trying to get your hard-earned caps. That's one of the things that you just have to watch out for. But that's really in any game. There's really no, toxic people, too much in here. You'll run into them eventually, but for the most part, everybody's normally pretty kind. It's a really good community, really solid community, and that's pretty much it. So like I said, once again, if you liked the video, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.